Greetings, everybody. I am trying something new today. This is a game I recently picked up in the last couple days. Been been playing it quite a bit, so been enjoying it so far. It's a little bit different than anything I've played before. It's a game called Wartales, and it's kind of like if you've ever played. From what I understand, it's like Battle Brothers. I played a little bit of Battle Brothers and I totally got destroyed right away and it kind of turned me off of it. So, yeah, that's kind of as far as I got with it. But the premise is you lead a band of mercenaries and you try to make your fortune. And that's pretty much it. You take jobs, you go around, you uh, fight and you can trade and you upgrade your equipment and it's got RPG elements and everything. So it's quite fun. It's very early access yet, so do keep that in mind. It came out into early access. I believe it was in I want to say December or January, and they've had a couple of big updates since it first came to early access, so they are definitely actively working on it. They recently published a roadmap of what they plan to add and where they're going to go and things like that. And it looks promising, and the game's a lot of fun already. So let's dive in, and I'm just going to create a brand new game. And to start off, you answer some questions, and it kind of gives you could pick the really hard ones, and that would really increase the difficulty, or you could pick some of the easier ones or whatnot. But basically, all of these have positives and negatives, so you can kind of tweak how your gameplay will be a little bit. So we'll go through these a little bit. Your companions are apprentice friends looking for an adventure. You gain additional influence, but your companions gain experience a little slower. And the starting companions are swordsman, archer, ranger, and brute. They were men escorting merchants who lost their employer. So you start off with a little bit more money, but you don't have any medicine. And you start off also with a swordsman, warrior, spearman, and a brute. Deserters fleeing an abusive captain. You gain experience quicker, and your suspicion, anything you do, you get extra suspicion, which is a mechanic where when you steal stuff or you attack caravans, you kind of become wanted, and so all of the guards and patrols will come after you if you're high suspicion. So when you get a swordsman, archer, ranger, brute. Young farmers looking for a better life, you start with plus 10 bread, which is useful. It's extra food because you have to have enough food to feed your troop and keep them happy, but you have a lot less money. And you have a brute, two spearmen, and an archer. That would be tough. Or bandits looking to escape the guard. So you're criminals. So you start with more money and a lot more suspicion. But a brute, ranger, archer, which kind of makes sense. Rangers are your stabby with daggers, backstabs, things like that. So brute is like a big two-handed guy. Archer, bow and arrow, obviously. Swordsman's going to be your sword and board, heavy armor, tank, spearman. He's got a little bit more range with his weapon. So I've played this one before. This is what my first playthrough is, which explains a lot why my suspicion is always so high. Good to know. This seems really good. The extra money. Lots of influence. I'd never had any issue with influence in my other games. I had tons of it. I couldn't spend it fast enough. XP, yeah, the Level cap is only 5 right now, and I had everybody at almost level 4 going to 5 before I even left the first area in my first game. So XP is really not that big of a deal. So I think we're going to go with apprentice friends looking for an adventure. So we're just a group of guys and we're just going to go out and see what we can do. Your companions are used to long walks. So it reduces the speed at which the fatigue stacks. Fatigue is when you're running around on the map and doing things, your fatigue meter will go down. And when it reaches the end, then you have to set up camp. And when you set up camp is when you consume your food and you rest and you gain all of your fatigue back, all of your ability points back, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like D&D. They are cunning fighters, so experience gained in combat increased by 10, so that could offset the other one that we picked a little bit. Show incredible resilience. The constitution is increased. Hit points are always good. Our excellent slap games, so critical damage is increased by 10. That's good too. And our quick learners, so they get extra XP. I don't know what the difference. Oh, that's profession. Professions are like a blacksmith or a miner or a fisher. There's 6 or 7 of them. I think it's right. So, yeah. That wouldn't be bad, but I think we're going to go with cunning fighters. This is as generic as you can be. Let's a group of friends and let's go fight shit. If they had a flaw, it would be a somewhat meek appearance. So their carrying capacity is reduced. Eternal dissatisfaction reduces their happiness. I don't think they would be that. Hi, TIE Bomber Girl. Is my video and sound okay? Cool. I appreciate you checking in. So I have a somewhat meek appearance, we have eternal dissatisfaction, an uncommon bout of bad luck, which critical hit is reduced. That's bad. A very hard time getting up, so danger during rest is increased by 10. That wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I am pretty lucky that I do have an awesome wife that, lets me buy stuff to set up so I can stream. So, yeah, I'm very lucky that way. I'm sure she knows that he knows how lucky he is. And a serious lack of self-confidence is willpower reduced by 1. That seems fine because I honestly don't really even know what willpower does at this point. I think it's something to do with, the happiness and dissatisfaction. Again, I never had any problem. As long as you've got enough food and you pay them, they stay pretty happy. So that's what we're going to go with. All right, starting region at this point in the early access. Oh, there's 2 of them now. Oh, it must be because I unlocked that in my first game. When I started my last game, I only had the Tiltern County Independent State. Interesting. We're going to go ahead and go with that because that's kind of the default start of the game. So if any of you are watching and kind of wanting to play along, that's what we went with, or what you start with in a fresh new game. Difficulty. Last time when I was playing by myself, I went easy because I'm bad at video games. But this time I'm actually going to go normal. The difficulty for the simulation is normal. Oh, I could do, well, yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. Save mode. I don't remember what the differences are here. Free, you can save anywhere and make multiple saves. Normal, only one save per game, but you can go back at any time to certain checkpoints, like the last village you visited, the beginning of a battle, etc. Or Iron Man, which is one save. We're not doing Iron Man, I can tell you right now, because again, I suck at video games, and this is early access, so things happen. Yeah, so we're going to go with free mode and exploration. Okay, this is a new feature that they added with their second big update. By default, the way the game works is enemies are, they kind of scale to your level. So as you level up, they kind of scale with you. They added the region locked option, which means basically different parts of the map are going to be different levels of enemies. So you could wander into an area and you be way underpowered or overpowered. So if you're somewhere that's a higher level than you are, then you'll need to leave and maybe come back later after you've got a couple more companions or better equipment or something. So it sounds good, but in practice, when I was first trying it, I was getting stomped because everything seemed to be higher than me. So I don't know if I just went the wrong way. It's very possible, but we're going to leave it on free so they scale with us. So that's where we're going to go. Start. All right, this is where we get our starting 4 and our pony. So I'm going to rename these guys. Let's see what we all have here. So the archer, he can shoot and he can run. That's... Oh, I can change it. Okay, utility, okay. This is based on the weapon. Obviously, different weapons are going to have different actions. So, but I really liked having this on my archer. It lets you increase his range and precision, so he can kind of stand a long ways away. And this is our ranger. This is our stabby dude. Wrath is really good. If the target's less than 50% health, they get basically an extra. They can use this ability to do an extra attack on them. And if it kills it, then their next attack is increased by 50%. So it's pretty badass. Or else this is first aid, and this is run. So we're gonna go with the Wrath. Our swordsman. This guy's probably going to end up with heavy armor. Oh, I can pick a starting weapon. He can have a sword, or sword and shield, or a two-handed sword. We're going to start off with the sword and shield, I think. Oh, he's got different stuff. What's he got? He's got taunt. Oh. That sounds good. I didn't have that before. I like that. Alright. So then the brute. We're going to let the brute have a big hammer, and your utility is going to be to heal. I need one other guy to be able to heal. I think the archer, instead of this, I'm going to do heal. Because he's going to be able to move around a lot. and he's going to be all over the battlefield, and I think that will be good. So that's what we're going to do. All right, now I'm going to do something a little fun here. These guys are all going to get a certain name, and we'll see if any of you actually get the reference of who they're going to be. So this guy is going to be named James. That doesn't look too bad. Oh, cool. Interesting skin tones. There's not a whole lot of dark-skinned people. You're probably going to get the reference right away when I name this guy. Lars. Robert. We're going to change his hairstyle. Yeah, we're going to go with that one. And finally, Kirk. those two have the same face. Pony. Can I name you? I can. Doris. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. If I remember right, there's not really much of a tutorial or anything. It's just a kind of, here you go, enjoy. Loading. Your companions are off in search of adventure. After a few days of quietly traveling along, their only feat was not getting lost, and they have reached their destination. Here, surely, awaits some novel and exciting quest that will stir up the uneventful lives of bored apprentices. Adventure awaits at the end of the road, for those who make it there alive, that is. We're not going to make it. We're going to die. Alright, so here we are. I'll pause real quick so I can kind of go through the screen here real quick. But up here, these are my dudes. Kirk, Lars, James. Oh, did I really spell his name wrong? Thoris? I think I can still change it. I can. Must not have saved.